Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and whether you're at home, driving, or even at work, we're always glad you're here with us. I want to welcome back my co-host for today, Sheila Applegate, manifestation life coach, author, and the host of Consciously Awesome Living, which airs on Soulivity TV at 12 noon Eastern. Again, welcome back, Sheila.
Thanks, Brian. I'm happy to be here today.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday here in the nation's capital. Is it beautiful where you are?
Oh, yeah. I already went out and had a walk. It was gorgeous out there.
Yeah. We have such a great show today lined up for our audience today. We're getting a jump start on Women's Health Month, which happens during the month of May. And a lot of other great things happening today on our show. We have an interview with Dr. LaReesa Ferdinand, who is a woman's hormone expert, integrative health coach, and consultant. She's two decades of experience with women's health. And so we're going to be talking to her about how women should take time to focus more on their personal health and needs today. And then later on, you and I are going to have a conversation about the story of Nobel laureate Denis Mukwege, who treated more than 80,000 survivors of sexual violence by armed groups in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and his fight to end the sexual violence more broadly as acceptable during civil unrest. So that's going to be a great conversation. So we're looking forward to that. What's been on your mind when it comes to all this stuff lately?
Well, Brian, I I had to look for a new internal medicine doctor this last month, and one of the things that was really important to me was making sure that it was a female doctor because
Mm.
I'm leaving a male doctor that I didn't feel comfortable with on many levels. And then yesterday, I saw in USA Today a study that kind of confirmed that inner knowing of the importance of it. And the study from Annals Internal Medicine said that
Wow.
both males and female patients have a greater chance of death or readmission within 30 days under the care of a male physician. But the
Wow.
risk is even greater for women, the findings
Oof.
show.
Oof.
Yeah, right? So if I want to
Oof.
live, I should find a female doctor. Now, to be fair, the percentage is not extremely high, but it could
Right.
save about 5,000 women's lives each year. And to me, I could be one of those 5,000. And yeah.
Yeah, and it's as you talk about that, I'm thinking, well, what are women doctors doing
Hmm.
that men doctors aren't doing,
What do you think,
right?
Brian?
They're
Listening. They're listening.
yes, absolutely they are. And probably more empathetic, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and,
toward their patients.
they also yeah, so they take more time with their patients, and they explain things in more detail. Um, it does say that women feel more comfortable explaining things to men, or to females doctors. I think that has to do with approach too, and I
Mm.
have had some very good male doctors. I'm not saying that it's across the board, but it is that taking time. Another thing is that women doctors on average spend more time in surgical procedures, and
Really?
there's a lower rate of post-operative readmissions, so they do a better job.
Hmm.
And this hit home because I had surgery on my knee years ago. And one of the reasons, primary reason, was that there was this ball of like calcium, like almost the size of a walnut in my knee. And it was severe pain,
Oof.
right? And some other stuff for them to clean up. The doctor told me after surgery that he almost closed up, and then he decided to do another look through, and he remembered this ball that was in there. He almost did the whole surgery, and he presented it to me like he was proud that
Are
he took
you
a second look, and I was like, what?
are you serious right now? Well, see,
So, and that's
come
not all
on
men,
now.
but and he
Come on
did
now.
find it, but
Folks got to
yeah.
do better. We we had our health equity forum, our first one last week.
Mhm.
And we have another one actually today. And what came up today, and everyone will give you more information about that in a second. But what came up was how people's interpersonal skills are with people,
Mhm.
especially across gender and race and like cultural kinds of things. And so it is
Right.
a tangible intangible that that healthcare in general need to pay attention to. Like, okay, isn't it good that you went back and done another look see? I mean, that's something that a lot of women do already naturally, where they go, well, let me just take another look, right?
Right.
And so, gosh, something the size of a walnut they miss. Oof, that's scary. That's scary.
I
It's
would have
like,
been very
oh,
sad.
that's right. Anyway,
And I do think
we're
it's the
yeah.
attribute. It's the attributes, not just the female. In our society,
Yes.
we're more perceptive in those areas, but the
Yes.
schooling can adjust it, because there have been male doctors or physicians who slow down, take the time. It almost feels a little strange when it happens, but it happens and it works.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that. We're not saying sex or gender here. We're saying attributes that women embody, that
Right.
in this study where people have a less or less likely to die under a woman physician's care than a male physician. Though it's small, it's still there, and so that's what we're putting forth. Um, Looking forward to, again, speaking of female physicians, really looking forward to this conversation with Dr. LaReesa Ferdinand. She's known as the estrogen doctor, and just a wonderful soul. And again, she's going to be talking about, again, specifically for women, but I think men are going to be able to get some of this too. And then how men can support women in their journey around their health experience as well. So why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we'll speak with Dr. LaReesa Ferdinand. Okay? So we'll take this break, everybody, and we'll be back in just a second.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Join us every weekday at 8 a.m. for Soulivity Today.
Whether you're just starting your day or on the road,
Soulivity Today will make your days better.
We will empower you with authentic conversation about the latest news and trending topics. Plus, you won't want to miss our interviews with industry experts.
so sit back, relax, and get ready for a whole lot of fun.
Soulivity Today, weekdays at 8 a.m. only on KMET 1490 AM radio and ABC News affiliate.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. Hey there, we're back here with more on Soulivity today. As I said before, May is Women's Health Month, designed to focus attention on the many health issues facing women. And joining us today is Dr. LaReesa Ferdinand, who's an OB-GYN, who is nationally recognized as the estrogen doctor and a women's hormone expert. And I am so happy that you are here with us today, Dr. Ferdinand.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for having me. I'm excited too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Celebrating Women's History Month. Oh, it is so fantastic. We're back here again. For you, why is it important for us to recognize Women's Health Month?
Well, as an estrogen doctor and the go-to menopause expert, I have the privilege of taking care of women for over 20 years, and I love helping them improve their health and wellness. However, you have to be self-aware, ladies, and being more self-aware of your body changes, that's what's the big tip today.
Oh, I'm taking notes so that I can support my wife in her journey, her health journey. Sheila, I know you had a question for Dr. Ferdinand.
Hi, Dr. Burton. Yes, I see that you have some products and supplements there. Are there specific ones that you would recommend women use?
Yes, absolutely. Now, supplements can work for many people. I consider them the supporting cast. The first one is Life Extension's FloraSys Probiotic Women's Health. It's an oral probiotic supplement designed with women's vaginal, digestive, and immune health in mind. Now, probiotics can play an important role in women's health by providing healthy bacteria. FloraSys promotes healthy vaginal flora. Now, what that means is healthy pH levels and tissue health, but at the same time, encouraging digestive comfort and improving immune response. And you can get it under $25.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, this is something that I know my wife gets on me all the time about to make sure that I'm moving. How important is regular exercise?
Oh my goodness, I can tell you how much exercise is self-care medicine for a lot of women. And my go-to is Arnica Gel. It's scientifically formulated with arnica. It provides relief from everyday muscle aches, pains, swelling from injuries, and discoloration from bruises, making it an essential part of a pain-free, active lifestyle. What I also like about it is fragrance-free, it's easily absorbed, and you can get it at your local Walgreens or Walmart.
Fantastic. Wow.
I love arnica. So let's talk about our skincare. Can you give us any recommendations for that? Sometimes I feel really overwhelmed when I think of all the different products to choose from.
No lie, I do too. But you know, Olay, they're the go-to experts of glowing skin from head to toe, and they've been in this game for years. Their new Indulgent Moisture Body Wash collection. As a leader in the personal care category, Olay has leveraged 70 plus years of skin science to develop the biggest breakthrough in cleansing that reveals glowing skin in 14 days. What woman doesn't want glowing skin? So you can treat yourself to a premium body wash experience with buttery texture, rich lather that can help you achieve glowing skin in a matter of days. And you can find it in all your major retailers.
Wow. Well, you know, thanks for being here. Now, can you share a personal care suggestion before we get out of here?
Yes, another personal care suggestion might be Secret Aluminum Free Whole Body Deodorant. It provides clinically proven odor protection for up to 72 hours. It's gynecologist and dermatologist tested, and it's made with intentional ingredients that you can put all over your body, including your intimate areas, ladies, external use only. It's free of aluminum, baking soda, phthalates, parabens, and it can go on clear. And it's available in different scents, including unscented. And what I like about it too, it comes in 3 forms: sprays, sticks, and cream, starting at $12.99.
Wow. Now, what a great way to start Women's Health Month with all these wonderful items for women. You know, I'm going to have my wife make sure she watches this so that she can kind of like do some stuff. It might be best for both of us too. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you, Dr.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Ferdinand, for being with us today and kicking off Women's Health Month with some joy, peace, and happiness as well with all these great products.
Absolutely. And you can find more of these products on tipsontv.com, or if you want to get more tips and tricks as women's health, you can visit me in Orlando at Thrive Beyond Wellness.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and we hope that you'll come back and join us on Soulivity today.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Absolutely. Listen, everyone, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more of Soulivity today in just a couple minutes. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life.
So 6 women were attacked on Friday.
Dr. Denis Mukwege is the director of the Panzi Hospital in eastern Congo. In this war against women, his hospital is the front line.
So one of them are here.
One of the latest victims is Sifa Mikatambala. She was raped 2 days ago by soldiers who raided her village.
They just cut her at many places.
With a machete?
Yeah.
Sifa was pregnant, but that didn't stop her rapists.
They even cut her at her genitals.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years in Congo, hundreds of thousands of women have been raped, most of them gang raped. The hospital is full of them.
All these women have been raped?
Yeah.
They've all been patients of yours?
Within a week, Dr. Mukwege says this room will be filled with new faces, new victims.
You know, they're in deep pain, but it's not just physical pain. It's psychological pain that you can see. Here at the hospital, we've seen women who've stopped living.
Are all the people you treat adults?
No. There are children. I think the youngest was 3 years old.
3 years old?
And the oldest was 75.
To understand what's happening here, you have to go back more than a decade. When the genocide that claimed nearly 1 million lives in neighboring Rwanda spilled over into Congo. Since then, the Congolese army, foreign-backed rebels, and homegrown militias have been fighting each other over power and this land, which has some of the world's biggest deposits of gold, copper, diamonds, and tin. The United Nations was called in, and today their mission is the largest peacekeeping operation in history. Since 2005, some 17,000 UN troops and personnel have cobbled together a fragile peace. Last year, they oversaw the first democratic election in this country in 40 years. But now all that they've accomplished is at risk. Fighting has broken out once again here in eastern Congo, and the region threatens to slip into all-out war. Each new battle is followed by pillaging and rape. Entire communities are terrorized. Forced to flee their homes, people take whatever they can and walk for miles in the desperate hope of finding food and shelter. Over the last year, more than 500,000 people have been uprooted. A fraction of them make it to these cramped camps where they depend on UN aid to survive. This camp sprang up just 2 months ago. It's already overcrowded, but more people keep arriving. They come here seeking refuge, a safe haven, but the truth is, in Congo, for women, there's no such thing. Even in these supposedly protected camps, women are raped every single day. Has rape almost become the norm here?
I think because of the widespread nature of the war, because there has been so much violence, rape is now on a daily basis, rape is the norm.
Annika van Woudenberg is the senior Congo researcher at Human Rights Watch.
Women get raped in wars all the time. How is it different here?
I think what's different in Congo is the scale and the systematic nature of it. Indeed, as well, the brutality. This is not rape because soldiers have got bored and have nothing to do.
It is a way to ensure that communities accept the power and authority of that particular armed group. This is about showing terror. This is about using it as a weapon of war.
It's hard to imagine this war happening in the midst of such breathtaking beauty and abundance. But after decades of dictatorship and corruption, this country is broken. Most of the fighting and the raping takes place in remote areas difficult to get to.
We're heading to a place called Walungu. It's an isolated village in the mountains of eastern Congo. For years, there have been armed groups fighting in this region. Thousands of men who emerge from the forest to terrorize villages and steal women. Congo's government seems unable or unwilling to stop them. In the last week alone, there have been 3 attacks in which women have been raped. The youngest victim was just 6 years old.
And we're back here with more on Soulivity today. The clip you just saw was from a CBS 60 Minutes episode about the horrific events happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo during the civil unrest in 2018. It shines a light on the tragic sexual violence that has occurred with women and young girls across the country and Dr. Denis Mukwege's battle to treat these women of rape and abuse, while also trying to get the world community to help them end these assaults on women and girls forever. Sheila, as you were watching this first video, what were your thoughts?
Well, knowing that it was from 2018, I am curious, how things are today and if we've made any progress. As a woman, I think there's an overwhelm of almost the nervous system shutting down at the degree of which violence against women is used as a control method. And then with current days, I'm thinking about the wars that are happening in the world now and how the UN is reacting and saying this is a crime, an international crime when there is this. So it's a whole lot of feelings right now, and I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are.
Well, I can tell you that one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this, not only because of Dr. Mukwege's fantastic work that he won a Nobel laureate for, it's happening today. The Congo is actually going through civil unrest again, and the women and young girls that are there are going through this sexual violence all over again. And so it's a generational kind of thing that's happening there. And it's heartbreaking. But then I also think about the world community where sexual assault, what's called contact violence, which can include rape and sexual coercion and unwanted sexual kind of touching or contact, is almost normalized in the West to a certain degree. I mean, it's like, oh, well, it's just happening, right? Oh, it's bad, but it's just happening. And so, yes, this happened. The video that was shot happened 6 years ago. The civil unrest, as Anderson Cooper was reporting on 60 Minutes, this started a decade ago as far as they were reporting on it, right? So we're basically talking, 20 years of this kind of thing happening. And it's just kind of like, again, for the beginning of Women's Health Month, I was like, come on, we gotta, we have to shine a light on it. We have to support people who are trying to end it. And we have to create a new normal around how we're dealing with sexual violence, period. Period.
Yeah.
I
think it is essential. I appreciate you bringing it forward.
Thank you. Well, again, this is what this show is about. It's about, the more joyful and peaceful stuff. and then other things that we have to deal with to get to the joy, right? Or to bring the joy forward. Why don't we watch this next clip? That's again from this fantastic 60 Minutes piece that was done years ago. Anderson Cooper, when he does this stuff, is just a blessing to mankind and to humanity, because he just shows it. He goes in with it. You can tell that his heart and soul is in it. So why don't we watch this next clip, and then we'll discuss it on the other side.
In Walungu, we found 24-year-old Lucien Marohi. She was at home one night with her 2 children and her younger brother when 6 soldiers broke in. They tied her up and began to rape her one by one.
I was lying on the ground, and they gave a flashlight to my younger brother so that he could see them raping me.
They were telling your brother to hold the flashlight?
Yes. They raped me like they were animals, one after another. When the first one finished, they washed me out with water, told me to stand up so the next man could rape me.
She was convinced they'd kill her, just as soldiers had murdered her parents the year before. Instead, they turned to her brother.
They wanted him to rape me, but he refused and told them I cannot do such a thing. I cannot rape my sister. So they took out their knives and stabbed him to death in front of me.
Lucienne was then dragged through the forest to the soldiers' camp. She was forced to become their slave and was raped every day for 8 months. All the while, she had no idea where her children were.
Did you know if they were alive or dead?
I was thinking that they had been killed. I didn't think I would find them alive.
Finally, Lucienne escaped. Back in her village, she found her 2 little girls were alive. But she also learned that she was pregnant. She was carrying the child of one of her rapists. Lucienne's husband abandoned her, and that happens to rape survivors all over Congo.
I used to think that when men fled, they were irresponsible. But now I understand things differently. They haven't fled because their wives have been raped, but because they feel they've been raped. They have been traumatized because they couldn't fight back, humiliated, because they weren't able to do anything to protect their wives and children.
When a woman is raped, it's not just her that's raped, it's the entire community that's destroyed.
What is the program?
Judith Registre is with an organization called Women for Women. They run support groups for survivors of rape.
When they take a woman to rape her, they'll line up the family, they'll line up other members of the communities to actually witness that.
They make them watch?
They make them watch. And so what that means for that particular woman when it's all over is that total shame personally to have been witnessed by so many people as she's being violated.
Many of the women in Dr. Mukwege's hospital are not only blamed for what happened to them, they're shunned because of fears they've contracted HIV, and shunned because their rapes were so violent they can no longer control their bodily functions.
So you're doing about 5 surgeries a day?
Yeah.
Dr. Mukwege's patients often have had objects inserted into their vaginas, broken bottles, bayonets. Some women have even been shot between the legs by their rapists.
Why would somebody do that? Why would somebody shoot a woman inside?
In the beginning, I was asking myself the same question. This is a show of force, of power. It's done to destroy the person. Sex is being used to commit evil. People flee, they become refugees. They can't get help. They become malnourished, and it's disease which finishes them off.
For these women, Dr. Mukwege is both healer and counselor. Dunia Karani is an orphan. She has polio and can't walk, but that didn't stop soldiers from raping her. Now she's pregnant and has no idea how she'll cope.
What do you say to a young girl? What do you tell her about her future?
The most difficult thing is when there is nothing I can do. When I see a 16-year-old, a pretty 16-year-old who's had everything destroyed, and I tell her that I have to give her a colostomy bag. That is difficult.
Despite those difficulties, more often than not, Dr. Mukwege is able to repair the damage to these women's bodies. They see him as a miracle worker, one of the only men they can trust.
She's very happy.
This gives you hope.
Yeah.
It gives.
I know everyone that these images are hard to watch and hear about, and we need to talk about it because, again, like I said before, this stuff is still happening. And not just in Congo. Congo's like a convergence of it and like something that, you know, people report on. But it's happening all over the world in different ways. So yeah. Sheila, I found it really beautiful that Dr. Mukwege is there with his team, even to this day, helping these women put their lives back together, back together in a way where they can kind of move forward. And just the fact to hear these women and young girls laugh again.
Right. And, you know, the power of the male energy in alignment that he's holding there, the healthy whole male energy is such a important aspect, I think, because it's bringing to mind a book that I've been reading, and it's by Don McPherson, who's an NFL Hall of Famer. And he talks about sexual abuse is not a woman's problem, it's a man's problem. It's not even abuse. It's men have a problem with violence towards women, and men have to fix that problem. And I think, you know, the women can commiserate, can support each other, women can speak out, and women can also need to be aware so they can help to raise children, but men have to take the role in this, and men have to make a decision that we've moved past the barbaric stage of raping for war or any kind of power.
Right. And I will reiterate what Dr. Mukwege was saying, and that this isn't just about the violence, right? The violence is horrific and brutal and that kind of thing. This is about power, right? Men asserting power over women. And I agree with you. It's men who have to take the lead here on ending this, right? There's and again, there's some statistics that I found at the National Sexual Violence Resource Center that people can go to and check out online at nsvrc.org that kind of talks about, you know, all the different things around sexual violence. But it says over 53% of women and over 29% of men reported experiencing contact sexual violence. So that is a majority of women, everyone, that have experienced either rape, sexual coercion, and or unwanted sexual contact. That's a male problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
listen.
I honor you for bringing it forward, doing your part.
I'm trying. I'm trying, Sheila. I'm trying here. Listen, let's take a break. But when we come back, want to share with you an interview from ABC News where Dr. Mukwege is talking about this in his own words.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us, a place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity today for a prep start to Women's Health Month, which starts throughout the month of May. We're talking about some of the horrific events that were happening in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, during some civil unrest that continues to this day. And the Nobel laureate Denis, Dr. Denis Mukwege, his battle to end sexual violence there against women and girls, that's kind of normalized. It's acceptable, right? It's the fog of war. And he's trying to get rid of all that. So applaud him. Want to show you, everyone, a quick clip from an interview he did with ABC News recently, talking about this continued battle in his life. Let's take a look.
Joining us now is Nobel laureate, world-renowned gynecological surgeon and human rights activist Dr. Denis Mukwege, whose award-winning book, The Power of Women, A Doctor's Journey of Hope and Healing, works to shine a light on sexual violence and the strength and resilience of women around the world. Dr. Mukwege, thank you so much for joining us. Among your achievements is really shining a light as far as what you witnessed firsthand during your time as a surgeon during the war in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Tell us about what you witnessed.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. And I want just to say that working for 40 years with women as obstetrician and surgeon, and now an activist against the sexual violence in conflict, I just feel that it was really very, very important to pay tribute to women who shaped my life, and really, if what I'm today, I think that women play a big role in my life. So to write this little book for me, it was really to tribute what they did for me.
And of course, you've heard countless stories from women. Is there one in particular that really sticks with you?
Yeah, when I'm treated women after rape, and it's not only rape, but is rape with extreme violence. Most of the time I have impression that they will never stand up, and they will never really get a normal life. But what really touched me is to see how women are able to stand up, and not only to stand up for them, but to stand up for others. And especially one, Bernadette, when she came at the hospital, she was completely destroyed. And really, all the staff was so traumatized to see what happened to her. But after to treat her medically and psychologically, and she decided to be a nurse. And when I asked her the question, why do you want to be a nurse? And she told me, I want to be a nurse because I want to help others.
And you've talked about rape as a weapon of war. Of course, most of this was born out of the original conflict that you witnessed in the DRC. But now we see it happening, these stories, these allegations of rape playing out rampantly in Ukraine and the war there. How do you tackle such a wide-ranging problem?
Yeah, I think rape as a weapon of war is happening everywhere in the world. Where there is war, women and girls are suffering, and most of the time rape is used in many conflicts, but it's a taboo. People are not talking about it, and what is happening in Ukraine is not unique. It's happening in Congo, in Yemen and Tigray and so on. But I think that we need to be aware about this situation and just know that when a conflict army appear, we have to be ready to protect women and girls. And I think that the way that the international community acts when it happened in Ukraine, this is the way that it should be done everywhere in the world when there is a conflict, to protect women and girls, because we know that they are paying a lot when there is an army conflict.
Again, the astute Dr. Denis Mukwege is speaking about this stuff, right? I mean, this is happening in Ukraine right now, right? And so bless you, Dr. Mukwege, for this, doing this work and paying it forward and not stopping. Sheila, any final thoughts from you around this, especially as we begin Women's Health Month? Because this is part of women's health too, everyone, by the way.
I really like the doctor's last statement about the fact that this is universal and it has to be addressed, and that no matter what the conflict and no matter what publicity the conflict gets, because we know that the more it gets in the news, the more attention it gets, and the more the political people, the people that have power, the leaders, address it. So I think that we can't just keep putting out little fires everywhere. We have to look at this as just, it is not acceptable in humanity to do this. And I'm going to hold hope that we can reach that point someday.
Yeah, I mean, we have to, because it has to end. This has to end. And again, for any of you who may be feeling as though you need some support from, and resources for either yourself or a loved one, please reach out to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. You can reach them at nsvrc.org. That's nsvrc.org, and learn more about the resources that are available for either yourself or a loved one. And speaking to you men, find out how you can become an advocate for ending sexual violence and how you can take part in this journey as well. Sheila, before we get out of here, you have something that's really, really cool that's coming up in the month of, actually at the month of May as well. And that's your journey for consciously awesome Gnostic adventures, which is so fun. It's so fun of a name. Can you tell people quickly about this?
Absolutely. This kicks off in May and it continues for 3 months, but it also allows you to integrate that into your life. It's a way of learning to access your higher levels of consciousness and to use them in your daily life to be able to make more of an impact in how you want to live your life from a divine perspective. And we
Love
would
it.
love to
Love
have
it.
you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Appreciate you doing that. I mean, here's another way. Again, I mean, with, you know, today was a little heavy, but in a beautiful way, right? Because this is all part of changing the world, right? Sometimes there's a heavy lift, sometimes it's a lighter lift. This is a heavier lift. But I think doing the work like the Gnostic Ventures that you do and doing other things that some of our other hosts provide, it helps that load being lifted a little bit easier, right? Because, you know, you're grounded in consciousness and you're grounded in some truth and joy, right? Around how to move through all this. So thank you for what you're doing with this. Again, go to Sheila's website at SheilaApplegate.com. You can see the Gnostic Adventure link right there on the front page. Go in and register. It starts May 9th, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And just to remind people, it's not an escape. It's a way of
Right.
helping the world from a more empowered space. So we're
Right.
not avoiding the difficulty, but we're getting new tools to have an impact.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Just want to remind everyone that you can find out more about everything that we're doing here on Soulivity by going to our social media. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. We're even on Threads. So go check us out. Make sure that you follow our YouTube channel so you can find out every time we go live. And if you want to take us with you wherever you go, download our podcast, because Soulivity Today is available in podcast around the world. Sheila, thank you again for being here. Appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Brian. I always love him.
And thanks to all of you for being with us for this edition of Soulivity Today. This is how we do it every Monday through Friday right here at 8 o'clock Eastern on our Soulivity TV channels. Or you can watch or listen to us on KMET 1490 AM radio out in Southern California. For all of my peeps on the West Coast, listen, this is Brian Wesley Johnson saying thanks again for being here, and keep working that passion and purpose, and you're going to create that best life today. We'll see you next time.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.